With the rise of the population in Europe and the U.S. between the years of 1730 and 1850, there was a greater demand for essentials that were once only used by the wealthy. But the mechanization of industry led to the mass production of pottery and the easier materialization of cotton products. Before 1730, only wealthy landowners owned fine, sturdy pottery. Because of the creation of much new machinery, the pottery industry boomed with success. New machinery being made, the cotton industry flourished as well, for before all was done by hand in the cottage industry. These three topics are connected in a variety of ways, and in this documentary you will see these ways. Due to the growing population of Europe, many products had to be manufactured at a much faster pace, and with new machinery in the industry, this allowed mass production of many items and was much more efficient than doing it by hand. The most important invention of the Industrial Revolution, as well as the Agricultural Revolution, has to be Jethro Tull's seed drill of 1701. The reason it's so important is the fact that after this, many other new ideas came into play, jump-starting the revolution. John Kay, an inventor of England, started out as the manager of his father's mill. He made improvements to the mill, and in 1733 he created the flying shuttle, which could weave faster than two people put together. His achievement was truly a chain reaction, for in 1764 James Hargreaves created the spinning jenny, named after his daughter, who had accidentally knocked off a wheel in his machine. Of course, with several modifications, this turned into Richard Arkwright's water frame in 1769, which later turned into the spinning mule by Samuel Crompton in 1780. But the most successful and most like modern technology today are Edmund Clark Wright's power loom of 1784 and Eli Howe's sewing machine in 1844. All these inventions are important in history, for they bring the changes in production. The increase for the desire of porcelain became an issue, for only the wealthy could afford it, while the middle and lower classes could not. As more Europeans acquired a taste for Chinese teas, cocoa, and coffee, they soon needed porcelain so that the flavor would stay intact and the temperature would remain the same. The direction of the middle and lower classes greatly changed when Erasmus Darwin suggested Wedgwood to buy a steam engine in 1782. By suggesting this, the pottery industry would change forever, for business rates would go up and the demand would become increasingly greater. The idea of divided labors, thought of by owner Joshua Wedgwood, also started coming into play, for working became faster and more efficient. The creation of the pyrometer, a thermometer that was able to take the heat of kilns, was invented. This was an important step in the pottery business, for now the clay could easily be at the exact temperature needed. With the company of Wedgwood taking its toll on the world economy, pottery was more accessible and much cheaper. With the start of slave trade in the Americas in 1619, cotton soon became one of the biggest industries of the Industrial Revolution. This spark of success really started with an average man from Westborough, Massachusetts. This is where Eli Whitney created the country-changing machine, the cotton gin. Of course, he only created this machine which separated the seeds of cotton from the actual material to help end the problem of slavery, but it only raged on. This invention also helped other parts of the world. England, for example, flourished in the textile industry for many years to come. From imports from America, the cotton business became hugely successful, and the world economy grew even more. The creation of new machinery brings many aspects of the pottery industry as well as the cotton industry into play. With new inventions on the rise, other aspects of the revolution begin to break out as well. From the power loom to the pyrometer, technology has had a